This has a very, and I mean very low ratings. Listen, a cover will get me every single time. I will in fact not be reading this. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Johanna and welcome to my cozy book space. For today's video, we're going to be going through November new releases that are on my radar. We have dark romance, fantasy, romanticy, YA. We have everything here. There are a lot, and I mean a lot of new releases for the month of November. So let's get right into it. Starting off strong for November 4th, we have 13 new releases. I'm not going to go into too much depth with every single one because, like I said, November is a packed new releases month. So I'm only going to go into the ones that I'm like more interested in, but I do want to let you guys know of other ones that are coming out on specific days. That way you guys are in the know, and maybe you didn't know and now you know, and or if the cover looks interesting to you guys, then you guys can go ahead and look it up or look for it in stores, etc. Anyways, let's get into it. First one here is Fallen City by Adrienne Young. This is the first book in the Fallen City duology. It says here, in the great walled city of Isara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making, but when a legionnaire falls in love with magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. This is actually Adrienne Young's first adult romantasy, so I'm excited to see what she does with this book in specific. We have Thrown in the Dark by A.K. Cangiano. Sorry if I said her last name wrong, and sorry if I look down for the majority of this video, but like all of my information is on my laptop, so that's why I will be looking down. This one, I know that it was indie published, then it got picked up and it is getting republished, and I just think the cover is so pretty. The cover looks so good and I'm just so intrigued by it. Then we have Empire of the Dawn by Jay Kristoff. This is actually the third book in the Empire of the Vampire series. I believe this is the third and final book. Comes the epic conclusion to the #1 internationally best-selling series. I actually kind of want to get to this because it is vampires. I'll probably try and get to it like on audio and do like an immersive read, but we'll see because I have other books to read. This is definitely high on my radar. That it's a series that I've been wanting to read ever since the first book came out and I bought the first book. This one's a new one for me. This one is Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. It says, be swept away by the sizzling, irresistible, enemies to lovers romantasy with magic more destructive than your darkest nightmares. Next we have Ship of Spells by H. Layton Dixon. Ship of Spells is perfect for readers who crave the raw grit of Arya Stark, the world building of Samantha Shannon, and the slow burn tension of enemies who should never trust or want each other. It's adult romantasy having to do with pirates, and to be honest, that's all I needed to know. It also says here, a war-scarred mage, a sentient ship, a secret that could drown empires. Then we have this one that is new to me that I didn't even know, but it's called Cold Wire by Chloe Gong. This one says, from New York Times bestselling author Chloe Gong comes the start of a daring new dystopian series where humanity has moved to virtual reality to flee their deteriorating world following two young soldiers who must depend on unlikely allies in their fight for survival. Another dystopian novel, and from Chloe Gong. I fear it's going to be great. This one was new to me too. I honestly, this just might be a re-release with a different cover, but this one is A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Ciccarelli. This one is epic love story of a magical girl, the boy she left behind, and a deadly curse, now in paperback. It's fantasy having to do with fae, devastating and romantic. Everything has a cost. Son of the Morning by Akawaki Emezi. I apologize for my pronunciation. This one looks really interesting as well. This one is steamy paranormal romance set in the Black South, a bold new foray that takes us on a journey of magic and fantasy from the whispering creeks outside of the city of salvation to the very depths of hell itself. This one, the cover looks amazing as well. Listen, a cover will get me every single time. Another one for November 4th, we have the second book in the Immortal Dark trilogy by Taijist Girma. I apologize. Called Eternal Ruin. To be honest, I have seen nothing but amazing things. I've I've heard that there is impeccable yearning in these two books that are currently out. I didn't even know it was a trilogy, but the second book is coming out November 4th. Then we have this one. This is a YA fantasy, but the cover looks really pretty and I wanted to go ahead and mention it. It's called Gilded in Vengeance by Lisa Maya Smith. This one says, revenge meets the Gilded Age in this thrilling YA fantasy set among the glittering magical elite of the late 1800s New York society. The two girls attended a magical ball, but one was never seen again. At least that's what those who betrayed her believed. Next, we have Heart of the Siren by Alice Hanoff. It says, she was supposed to birth life, instead she became death. A romantasy where the siren saves the boy, puts the nobles in their place, and still has time to keep her brother in check. We also have on November 4th a special edition, deluxe edition of The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. I'm not sure if I'll be picking this up, but it is a stunning edition. We also have Love You, Mean It by Laura Pavlov coming out November 4th. Found family and the power of acceptance, all wrapped up in a sizzling romance set in the frozen north. My new landlord's a real hard ass and I can't keep my hands off of him. I don't know if this is a new series by Laura Pavlov or if it's a standalone or a part of a series. I'm not sure, but I just know that this is coming out November 4th. And I believe that is the last book for November 4th. So let's move on to November 5th. This is Highest Point by Kels Stone and Denise Stone. This is a daring mountaineer helps a ballerina on a mission to train for a winner-takes-all competition in the Alaskan wilderness in this sports romance. Now for November 8th, we have The Scandal You Started by Nyla Monroe. The cover on this one, it got me. I'm not gonna lie. This was put on my calendar solely for the cover because I am eating it up. This is History Has Already Been Written, but now he wants to rewrite it with her. Romance, time travel. Dang, this sounds like it's gonna have a lot of yearning and I'm here for it. Moving on to November 11th, we have quite a few as well. We have Between Two Kings by Lindsay Strobe. This is actually the second book in the Split or Swallow series. Then we have a new release by JT Geisinger that comes out actually November 4th. Why was this not mentioned earlier? I didn't even know about this until I heard it from a different booktuber, but Black Thorn by JT Geisinger comes out November 4th. I apologize for not mentioning it then because I honestly thought it was coming out the 11th. From the diabolical mind of New York Times bestselling author JT Geisinger comes a scorching new enemies to lovers romance filled with explosive secrets, nail-biting, gothic suspense, and the dangerous lure of dark magic. You'll never forget your first love, especially when he's also your worst nightmare. Some tropes are revenge, touch her and you die, shadier than shade, hero, forbidden romance, grumpy, plot twist galore, Beauty and the Beast, enemies to lovers to enemies to question mark. I will most definitely be reading this. For November 11th, we have Bound by Ali Hazelwood. This is actually a Spotify exclusive. Did I download Spotify to have 3 months for free so I could listen to this? Yes, I did. I actually have never read the synopsis, but we have a reluctant con artist and professor with too many secrets are bound together in Ali Hazelwood's intoxicating new dark academia romance. Veronica Vero Mercer grew up with the grifters for parents and she knows her way around a con. When grad school bills pile up and her friends are in trouble, she turns her art history skills into a forgery side hustle. I'm so dead. It's supposed to be a short-term deal, but her work draws the attention of Dr. Victor Ashworth, a reserved, very British professor. Instead of turning her in, Ashworth kidnaps her politely and makes an unusual offer, forge a mysterious ancient manuscript for him. Soon, Vero finds herself spending long nights with Victor, bent over rare vellum samples and obscure inks. But as the con grows riskier, Vero has to wonder, what does Victor really want and why can't she stay away? To be honest, I had no idea that this was what this was about. To be honest, I thought it was going to be another like werewolf romance. It's not, but I'm still going to listen and I'm still probably gonna love it. Another one for November 11th, we have Haunting the Hunter by Hannah Harp. Hannah Harp's incendiary debut, paranormal dark romance, perfect for fans of Sadie Kincaid's Forged in Blood and Carrie Lake's Anathema, follows Cade, a devoted hunter fighting to shield his sister Callisto from a haunting generational curse. But when a mysterious spirit begins to break down his defenses, both his passion and his will ignite into a scorching fourth wall breaking breed that places you at the heart of the story. What? What do you mean? I'm scared. It says, warning, this is not just a book, it's an invitation. A contract sealed the moment you turn the page. If you choose to read, you choose to be seen. If you choose to follow him, he will hunt you. This story does not end when you close the book. No. No, absolutely not. I will in fact not be reading this. I do not claim any of that. Okay? I hate anything scary. If you need to know something about me, I don't do that scary shit. I don't do none of that. I don't watch scary movies. I don't like getting spooked or scared. I don't like none of the paranormal. Don't even get me started, okay? If you like this, if this sounds interesting to you, read it. I might put my sister on because she's the exact opposite of me. But that warning right there, oh no, girl. Girl, not for me. No. Next up, we have Not You Again by Erin La Rosa. We have a enemies to lovers with a splash of magical realism, fantasy, time travel, contemporary adult romance. We have The Seventh Champion by Sylvia Mercedes, the Dragon Queen duology book 1. I love the cover of this book, just like with the heroine and the juxtaposition of the hero. Like, I'm here for it. We have a dragon princess joins forces with a scarred prince to escape a competition for her hand in marriage. Unaware, he is hiding dark secrets of his own in the first of a new romantasy duology from the author of Bride of the Shadow King. Then we have The Strength of the Few by James Islington. This is book 2 in the Hierarchy series. This highly anticipated follow-up to The Will of the Many, one of 2023's most lauded and best-selling fantasy novels, follows Viz as he grapples with a dangerous secret that could change the course of history across alternate dimensions. Then we have for November 20th, All Wrapped Up in You by Rosie Danan. This is another one of those Amazon original stories, like bundles where a bunch of authors come in and write like holiday-based romances, novellas. They are all novellas, less than 100 pages. There are only 3 that I'm really interested in reading, not because of the descriptions or the stories, honestly because of the authors. I don't know the other one, but this one is the Rosie Danan one, and I've recently read a lot of Rosie Danan's books and I really enjoy them. Not enough to have her books on my shelves, but I wouldn't mind reading this Christmas novella by her. Again, it comes out November 20th, but they are all Christmas based. So with that being said, I probably will save these novellas for closer to December/Christmas. That way it will also help me with my Goodreads goal, which I'm so very much far behind. They will help my Goodreads goal. To reach it, probably not, but it is there. I will not be going into the synopsis of these little novellas because I feel like they're going to give way too much away. But the other ones that I want to read are Snow Place Like Home by Laura Pavlov and You Better Not Pout by Mia Sosa. Moving on, we have A Cozy Holiday by Kels and Denise Stone. It is actually a novella. I can't see the exact page count, but one of the genres is a novella. It says here, one grumpy city veterinarian, one hot single dad, and a winter cabin full of naughty decisions just waiting to happen in this holiday novella by best-selling authors. So yeah, this is most likely going to be a Christmas holiday novella that I read during the holidays. Girl, I'm so excited. The cover looks so cute. Then for November 25th, we have Born for Marble by Nikki Harris. I've never read anything by Nikki Harris, but this is book 3 in the Cradled Common series. The only reason why I want to read this and it was put on my radar is because it is a dystopian fantasy dark romance smutty book. Okay, but I didn't realize that it was book 3, book 1 being Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. I believe, you know, it has to do with the same things. So because Born for Marble does not have a description, I am going to go ahead and read the description for Born for Silk. It says here, adore, pleasure, provide. 1,000 years of climate change, genetic testing, and war destroyed civilization as it was. From the remains came the age of the trade and the crown. In return for resources, security, and a meaningful purpose, citizens accepted a life of service to the new world. The land became the cradle, and humankind was henceforth known as the Cradled Common. Young Aster is no different. If selected, she'll be the king's silk girl, a common human bred to adore and pleasure him, and to provide the cradle with healthy babies for the trade. That is her meaningful purpose. But the king is more monster than man, the heir of genetically enhanced breed. He was designed to survive and rule this new world. King of Rome has a heart as black as his giant pet eagle's wings and a singular obsession to reign. That stands until one day Esther puts her tiny human hand in his. But love is not a virtue in the cradle, because nothing could be more dangerous to the regime than having its merciless king fall in love with a common girl born for silk. I'm down. I'm down to read a girl. Then we have the fourth book in the Legacy series by Melissa K. Rorick called Dawns of Chaos and Fury. I'm not going to read the description for this because, again, it is the fourth book and I know it's a highly anticipated series for a lot of you. I want to read this series so bad, but I feel like I have to read her other series first before I get to this one. The other series being the Lady of Darkness series. She does have a recommended reading order on her website, so do with that what you will. We also have Fallen Stars by Imani Iru. That is the second book in the Heavenly Bodies series. The first book in this series, Heavenly Bodies, was actually chosen for one of my physical TBR jar picks. So I'm so excited. Hopefully I can get to the first book before the second book comes out so that way I can read the second book and be in the know with you guys. We have My Fair Señor by Alana Quintana. I believe this is the third and final book in the Love and Tacos series. This has a very, and I mean very low ratings. But you know what? I've given the first book and the second book 3 stars, and I'll probably most likely give the third book 3 stars as well. But it is a nice palate cleanser romance with Spanish twist in there that I just enjoy listening to the audiobooks of this. And I usually get the audiobooks from my library. So like I don't spend any money on them and I enjoy them for what they are, but like they're not something that I absolutely love. Again, it is a series that I want to finish. So that is why it's on my anticipated releases for my November calendar. Then we have Second Chance Romance by Olivia Dade. This is the second book in the Harlow's Bay series by Olivia Dade. But the cover for this one is so cute. I'm not gonna lie. It says here, in the second installment of USA Today bestselling author Olivia Dade's Harlow's Bay series, a mistaken obituary leads to the reunion of 2 former high school crushes. Sparks fly in this hilarious grumpy romance packed with Dade's signature body positivity and a delicious amount of spice. It's called Second Chance Romance, and it's a second chance romance. Then we have The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole is actually getting published as a hardcover with some sprayed edges, and it actually looks absolutely stunning, and I will be buying it. And we have The Wicked by Rebecca John P. This one I seen while I was doing my research. Oh, did it get my attention? The cover, first of all, yeah. This is probably coming out in paperback with some sprayed edges, but if I can read it on Kindle Unlimited or if I can get it in audio, I will be doing so until this comes out with no sprayed edges in paperback if I love it. And this is why I think I'm going to love it. It says, Rebecca John P. bursts onto the dark romance scene with The Wicked, where a mafia and a heist romance collide in a scorchingly intense and unforgettable tale. Elio. They call me The Wicked. I've earned that name with blood, silence, and the weight of every secret I carry. As head of the Marino family, nothing slips past me. Not lies, not weakness, not fear. But when she enters my world, everything tilts. Zara. I'm dangerous and have had to be. I grew up with men who treated bullets like sugar cubes. I've risen from the streets to create the most notorious gang of thieves in the country. But after a job goes wrong, my crew and I are held captive by the Wicked, and I'll do just about anything to take advantage of it, even if it means working with the Wicked and pulling off the biggest heist I've ever dreamed of. I'm dancing with the devil, and the cost might be my body, my very soul, but I'm willing to pay the price if it means I get him. Bitch, what? Bitch, what? You can't tell me that does not sound good. Like, this is the smutty, darker version of what? The Six of Crows? I don't know. I don't know if that's even a comparison to make because I haven't read the Six of Crows duology, but you let me know down below in the comments. But it sounds just perfect. Then we have the publisher editions of The Wolf King by Lauren Falfreeman. Girl, this is a series that took the book community by storm, and it ended up getting picked up by a publisher, and it is now being republished. The publisher edition will be coming out November 25th as well. I believe it's coming out in hardcover with some sprayed edges. And I guess, you guys, that is the last book that I actually have on my November calendar. That actually went a lot quicker than I thought, but those were all the new releases for November that are on my Google Calendar. Let me know if I missed one, if I talked about one that you're highly anticipating. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you don't want to comment any of that, then go ahead and leave me a wolf emoji for The Wolf King being the last book that we talked about, of course. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.